In 1940, McDonald's came on the restaurant scene and changed the game forever. And since then, they've been continuing to revolutionize fast food time and time again. To me, though, the biggest thing that they did was in 1979 when they introduced the Happy Meal nationwide.
It's a hamburger or cheeseburger, regular size fries, regular size soft drink, and a McDonald's and cookie sampler with games, puzzles, jokes, and a prize.
A prize?
This video is a supercut of the 4-part Happy Meal series that I put out, talking about all the Happy Meals that came out from 1979 until 2019. Just a couple things I want to make sure to let you know as we get started with the video. These are the Happy Meals that were released in the United States. I do plan on looking into international Happy Meals in the future, so if you do notice something different from where you grew up, where you were buying Happy Meals, that might be a big reason why. As we go through each year, they're going to be divided into 3 different sections. First off, there's going to be the scheduled nationwide Happy Meal releases, then the nationwide releases that weren't necessarily tied to a specific set months or dates in a year, and then lastly, we'll have the regional Happy Meals in there when that applies. I've made a few small corrections in here as well, so be on the lookout for those as you go through it. And when we get to your favorite Happy Meal toy, make sure to let me know all about it in the comments below. Thank you so much to everybody who has watched these videos as they came out individually. And then if you're back here watching this maybe again, or if you're watching this for the first time, I hope that you enjoy it and you're able to kind of take a nice walk down memory lane. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to check out the next series that we're going to be getting into, which is going to be talking about the Burger King kids meals. And so really excited about that one. Let's go ahead and get started with the video by taking a look at the Happy Meals that came out that first year, 1979. June 11th through July 31st, McDonald's introduced the Circus Wagon Happy Meal. This would feature a bunch of McDonald Land characters, including Ronald McDonald, Captain Crook, and of course, the Hamburglar. The toys for this one were very simple. Of course, you gotta start somewhere with a fun ruler, a puzzle lock, and bracelets that would feature the different McDonald Land characters. On August 1st, the Space Raiders Happy Meals would come out. These would include a number of different space-themed little rubber toys that came in a number of different colors. This would include little aliens, rocket ships, flying saucers, and other things. And finishing out the nationwide Happy Meals for the year 1979 would have the first movie tie-in Happy Meals with Star Trek The Motion Picture. The toys in here would include things like a communicator, transfers for different characters, and like a little board game. There were also a number of different boxes that would feature the different characters for anyone who was looking to kind of complete a whole set. The only regional Happy Meals that we would see in 1979 would be the Space Aliens. These would run from August 16th until December 25th and were featured in the Kansas City, Missouri metro area. In 1980, after the Star Trek Happy Meals would wrap up, it wouldn't be until June that we would get a new series introduced with the Safari Adventure Meals. These meals would include little animals that came in a number of different colors. Those animals would include lions, hippos, gorillas, tigers, rhinos, crocodiles, elephants, and chimpanzees. 1980 was also supposed to feature Happy Meals that were going to go along with the Olympics, but because the United States ended up boycotting those Olympics, they're very hard to find if they even really kind of got out there at all. When it comes to regional Happy Meals in 1980, the Dallas Cowboys Super Box comes to mind. These boxes featured different cutout cards that you collect featuring different players, but that's about it. And then supposedly there were also 2 other regional Happy Meals that came out this year. One called Happy Hot Cakes that was in Southern Carolina and Ohio, and one called Look Look Books that came out in Southern California and St. Louis, though I wasn't able to find any real picture evidence of these. These dead links on this website are the closest I could find. In 1981, we got our first new Happy Meal in the spring with the Old West series, which again featured a number of small characters in a number of colors you could collect. Starting in May and running through June, we would get Happy Meals with, again, very similar toys, but this time with characters from McDonald's itself in the Adventures of Ronald McDonald series. In here, we'd see the likes of Ronald McDonald, Mayor McCheese, Officer Big Mac, Captain Crook, the Hamburglar, Grimace, and Birdie. Running from October of 1981 until January of 1982, Dinosaur Days would take over Happy Meals. And again, these toys would be very similar with different dinosaurs coming in multiple colors to try to collect. The first regional Happy Meal in 1981 were the Playmobil Happy Meals. These would run from around May 8th until June 25th. And this would kind of start a common practice with Happy Meal where they would try out different Happy Meals to see how successful they might be regionally before they would release them nationwide. The Playmobil Happy Meals were released in Missouri in cities such as St. Louis, Columbia, Jefferson City, Springfield, and then also in most of Nebraska. Around the same time in Arkansas, Kansas, Mississippi, other parts of Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, we would see McDonald's trying out the 3D Happy Meals. The big gimmick on these ones was, of course, 3D images on the box. And then the final regional Happy Meal of 1981 would be the Starship or the UHM unidentified Happy Meals. And these ones again would be tried out in Kansas City. Those Happy Meals must have tested well because in 1982 they would make their way to the country as a whole and would run in Happy Meals from January 22nd until February 28th. I like looking back at these ones because the toy itself is also what the meal would come in, which is something we would see repeat from time to time. The next series of Happy Meals would be called Going Places and would run from February 21st until April 28th. Starting on June 11th and running until July 15th, we would have the McDonald Land Express, which would feature 4 different train cars that could connect to each other. Moving on to June 28th and running until October 21st, Giggles and Games Happy Meals would come out, where you could play a big board game across the different Happy Meals, with the different toys serving as little markers. July 16th to August 23rd would feature little golden books in each Happy Meal. There'd be 5 books to collect, with the Pokey Little Puppy, a Tom and Jerry book, the Sesame Street Classic, there's a monster at the end of this book, the Country Mouse and the City Mouse, and a book based off of the movie dog Benji. From October 22nd to November 2nd, Playmobil toys would make their way to Happy Meals all over the country, but they would sadly have to be recalled due to safety hazards because little kids put things in their mouth and end up choking on them. And then the final nationwide Happy Meal series of 1982 were the Skybusters. There were 5 different types of planes and 5 different colors that you could collect. When we get into the regional Happy Meals of 1982, we start off in St. Louis, Missouri from March 1st to May 23rd with the Wacky Happy Meals. These ones would include cups that had puns on them, running from May 21st to July 4th, running in Kansas City, St. Louis, the state of Nebraska, and North Carolina. It was a Happy Meal set based on the TV show The Dukes of Hazzard. These would feature different cars that were tied to characters from the show, and the Happy Meal would come in the car, so these things were pretty big. Each car had their own sticker sheet, which allowed you to put more detail into the toy. January 17th to March 27th, we get another Happy Meal theme that is based off of McDonald's itself, with McDonald Land Junction. This time, the different Happy Meal boxes would serve as different buildings that you could use to set up your own McDonald Land, featuring all the characters tied to the restaurant. McDonald's Mystery Happy Meals would run from March 28th to June 5th, and these boxes would have different mysteries that you would help Ronald solve, similar to the comic strip Slylock Fox, if you're old enough to remember those. June 6th to July 18th, we get to have another vehicle-based box that the food would come in with the ship-shape Happy Meals. These ones would be 4 different types of boats that, of course, you could also decorate with stickers. From September 30th to November 23rd, the Ronald McDonald Circus Happy Meals would be running. These, once again, kind of like the first Happy Meal, would have different train cars be the Happy Meal boxes, and they would all be featuring different Happy Meal characters, and the toys would be little guys you could clip on there to kind of bring it more to life. From November 28th of 1983 until February 5th of 1984, the nationwide Happy Meal theme would be the Winter World's Happy Meal. Some of the toys that would be featured along these boxes would be the vinyl Christmas ornaments. One series of toys that would be used to kind of fill in Happy Meals where there were different gaps in the schedule would be the Astronix, a group of little green aliens that are suspiciously similar to the Smurfs. And then in 1983, we'd also see the first Hot Wheels crossover with McDonald's, something that would come up time and time again as the years would go by. Something to note about these ones is that there were different cars that were released in both the east and the west parts of the country, with, of course, some crossover. When it comes to regional Happy Meals, if you were in Boston in May, you could find yourself trying out the Play-Doh Happy Meals, which of course would come with Play-Doh and then little punch-outs that you could attach to your Play-Doh creations. If you were in Salt Lake City in June, you could try out the Lego building sets. There were both the Duplo, which are the bigger Legos for younger kids, and then more traditional Lego sets as well. In New York State and part of New Jersey, you would see the Happy Pails be introduced for the first time. This is the first of many, many times that buckets and pails would be used in conjunction with the Happy Meal. And then what might take the cake as the lamest Happy Meal toy so far, in New England, you could get yourself a Happy Teeth Happy Meal, which of course just has a toothbrush in it. As we move into 1984, starting in February and running until mid-April, we would have the Good Sports Happy Meals. These would have different sports themes for each box. Each box would have cutouts that you could use, and of course, a toy. From May 18th until June 17th, you would see the Happy Pails make their way to the nationwide audience, and they would even have the theme for the 1984 Olympic Games. So each pail would feature, different Olympic sports. And the Olympic sports celebration at McDonald's would not stop there. Moving from June 18th to August 20th, we would get Olympic themed boxes that of course would have different games, cutouts, and activities to do. From August 20th to October 25th, we get the most educational Happy Meals that we've seen so far with the release of School Days. Science, math, writing, history would all get featured on different boxes. It would include different activities and punch-outs that you could do. From October 26th until November 25th, those Legos that we talked about last year would move onto the national stage with a total of 8 different sets to collect. November 23rd to December 24th would have Happy Holidays Happy Meals with seasonal games and pictures included in there. We would also see the return of those different hanging ornaments. And then to close out the year nationwide from December 28th of 1984 to January 25th of 1985, we would see the Picture Perfect Happy Meals, which would have different drawing instructions for some of your favorite McDonald's Land characters. Some of those toys that ran for the entire year of 1984 and were kind of up to the discretion of who's running the McDonald's were the Fast Max, which featured 4 different cars based off of McDonald's characters: Ronald, the Hamburglar, Mayor McCheese, and Officer Big Mac. And you also might be able to find an Olympic beach ball featuring Ronald McDonald. Regionally in 1984, we had the Popoids, or we sometimes called the Crazy Creatures, which are made up of different little plastic bendy straws and other plastic pieces you can connect to create your own little monsters. Those ran from March 30th until May 6th in the St. Louis area. And then from March to April, and then again from August until September, we had the second batch of the Astronix. In 1985, going from March 11th to May 19th, we had the Sticker Club Happy Meals. These would feature a number of different types of stickers that you could get featuring McDonald Land characters, including puffy stickers, shiny stickers, motion stickers, the 3D ones that kind of move as you rock them side to side, paper stickers, and then of course scratch and sniff stickers. Running from April to May of 1985, we have the Magic Show Happy Meals. On top of there being different tricks and everything explained on the boxes themselves, there would also be toys that would feature little kind of magic tricks or illusions that you could play on your friends. From May 31st to June 30th, the Ship Shape Happy Meals would return, and then running from July 5th until August 1st, one of my personal favorite movies would get a Happy Meal tie-in with E.T. Instead of a toy with these Happy Meals, you would get to collect one of 4 different posters based off of the movie. Those Crazy Creature Happy Meals featuring the Popoids would move from being just regional to nationwide from August 2nd until September 2nd, and then running from August 22nd until September 21st. We would get the Commandrons, which would be the first of any kind of transforming toy from like a spaceship to a robot, or a car to a robot, that we would see. Of course, this would be something that would happen a lot moving forward. From September 6th until October 17th, we would have the Stomper Mini 4x4s, which would be little push-along 4x4 cars. And then from November 22nd until December 24th, Happy Meals based off of Santa Claus the movie would be released, and these would all feature one of 4 different books. From December 26, 1985 to March 9th, 1986, we would get, again, maybe a runner-up for lamest Happy Meal toy with the Feeling Good Happy Meals. In these Happy Meals, you'd have the chance of either getting a Ronald McDonald or Hamburglar toothbrush, a comb, a mirror, a soap dish, or a sponge. When it comes to kind of like the filler for the year, 1985 would let us see a number of different beach balls be introduced. We would also get a Happy Meal theme called Day and Night. And then we would also have a return of the Fast Max, but this time we would remove Mayor McCheese and put Birdie in there instead. On the Go Happy Meals would also serve as some of those extras, different character transfers in here, as well as other games you can play in the car. And then McDonald's also put out their own kind of wacky glasses that also served as drinking straws. 1985 is going to start the trend of there being a ton of regional variants in the Happy Meals each year. In Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, and Tennessee from February 15th until March 29th, you could have a different Play-Doh Happy Meal. In the New England area running for most of October, you would also see probably one of the most iconic Happy Meals show up for the first time with the Halloween Pails. These are going to go on to be extremely popular. This is not the last time that we are going to see them. The pails would have 3 different faces: McBoo, McPumpkin, and McGoblin. In Oklahoma, the Astronix would also show up again in November. During the summer of 1985 in Evansville, Indiana, you could get a special Crayola Happy Meal. St. Louis would get to try a big Happy Meal event with the first kind of boy toy, girl toy situation with Transformers and My Little Ponies. When it comes to the beach balls that were from Florida, the Hoppy Box Happy Meals in the southern United States, and the Little Travelers in Oklahoma, I actually, again, cannot find anything except for them being mentioned on a number of different lists, which might just be quoting each other. So again, I don't really have any information on those. If you know anything about them, I'd love to know, and just let me know about them in the comments. Throughout 1985, St. Louis also had music Happy Meals that they could use, which featured a record that had a number of different songs tied into McDonald's. And then the final regional Happy Meal for 1985 is, of course, again, a toothbrush. From March 10th to May 18th of 1986, we had the Airport Happy Meals, which would feature a number of different aircraft that came in different colors and that featured different McDonald's Land characters. From May 30th to July 6th, the Happy Pail Happy Meals are back again, this time coming with different tools you could use to dig in the sand and play at the beach with. From July 7th to August 3rd, Play-Doh is showing up with that regional and now going nationwide with their farm animals. August 8th to September 7th would also see the return of the Little Stompers, those little mini 4x4 trucks. From September 8th to October 5th, Young Astronauts would be in the Happy Meals, which would have little things you can construct made out of paper. October 13th to October 30th, we're going to get those Halloween pails showing up all over the nation now. October 31st to November 26th, Lego is showing up with some repeats of those same kits that they put out before. And then from November 28th to December 24th, we would get a series of Happy Meals based off of the movie An American Tail. These Happy Meals would include books that would retell parts of the story of the movie. Rounding out the seasonal nationwide Happy Meals of 1986 from December 29th and moving into February 1st of 1987 would be the Colorform play sets, which were made up of different backgrounds with reusable stickers that you could put on there with different McDonald's Land characters in different locations. The filler toys for 1986 would include Constructs, which is a toy that you can put together, and Crayola would also serve as a filler for this year, as would the Glowtrons, which would be those spaceship Happy Meal boxes that we saw earlier, now upgraded with glow-in-the-dark stickers. When we move into the regional Happy Meals, when we look from April to May in St. Louis and Tennessee, we would have a number of different farmyard toys based off of the song Old MacDonald. Running from August 8th until September 7th in Savannah, Georgia, we would see the Muppet Babies get a trial run. September 12th to October 19th in St. Louis, we would see the Teenasaurs. From November 28th to December 24th in Evansville, Indiana, we'd have the Berenstain Bears, which I'm sure the pronunciation of that is going to ruffle a few feathers. Throughout the year of 1986 in Washington, New York, and Colorado, you might find yourself with some beach balls. In South Carolina, they would also have Beachcomber Happy Meals, which would have, again, buckets. And then if you lived in Austin or Houston, Texas, you could get yourself the Story of Texas in 4 parts. In 1987, from February 9th until March 15th, we would have the McDonald's Little Engineer Happy Meal. I really like it when McDonald's is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They like the McDonald's characters. They like trains. Just give it to them. March 20th to April 26th of 87 would see Crayola return to the Happy Meal stage. And then from April to May of 87, we have another one of these where I'm just not familiar with these characters at all. If they are something that was popular at the time, I just wasn't alive yet, so that's probably why. But this is called Kissy Fur. Again, if you know anything about Kissy Fur, please let me know. From April 27th until June 4th, we had the McDonald's Land Band, which would come with a number of different instruments that your kids could annoy you with. And then from June 5th until July 9th, Muppet Babies would show up for everybody. From July 2nd until August 6th, we would have Dinosaurs, which would have different Happy Meal Land characters riding on dinosaurs that you could put together. Seems like a pretty cool mashup to me. And then from August 7th until September 3rd, we'd get the Boats and Floats Happy Meals, which would be more boat-based Happy Meal boxes that the food and everything would come in. From September 4th until October 15th, we'd get a Happy Meal set, which I'm kind of conflicted on. First, it's really cool because it's the real Ghostbusters based off the cartoon, based off of the movie. But it's not quite that cool because it's school supplies. From October 16th until the 31st, we would again have the Halloween pails showing up. And then from October 30th until November 29th, the Berenstain Bears would move into the national spotlight. Personally, I think that the Mama Bear here is the first Happy Meal toy that I remember seeing in like a nursery that I was in as a kid. So personally, now this is where the nostalgia starts to kick in. From November 30th until December 24th, we would get the Disney Favorites collection. This would include books based off of Lady and the Tramp, Cinderella, The Sword and the Stone, and Dumbo, and books of different kinds, both with like paint with water, activity, storybook, things like that. 1987 would introduce an iconic Happy Meal toy with the changeables, which were essentially Transformers, but instead of from cars to robots, it would be from McDonald's toys to robots. We had changeables based off of the Big Mac, a milkshake, the Egg McMuffin, Quarter Pounder, French fries, and Chicken McNuggets. The final nationwide Happy Meal set of the year would be the Good Friends Happy Meals, which would just be talking about how to be nice friends. You can see they've really softened up the Hamburglar at this point. When it comes to regional Happy Meals in 1987, from February to March in South Florida, we had the Metro Zoo Happy Meal, which would include these 4 different animals: an elephant, a chimpanzee, a flamingo, and a tiger. February 6th until March 22nd would have the Runaway Robots showing up in Nebraska, Michigan, Maine, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Alabama, and St. Louis. From February 20th until March 19th, the Potato Head Kids would come out in Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. These almost feel like a prototype for the McNugget Buddies, which will show up a little bit later. But these ones are, of course, based off of the Mr. Potato Head toy line. From April 24th until May 29th in West Virginia, you could try out the Fraggle Rock toys. Now, not all of these designs actually are going to make it to the nationwide release in the year to come, with those 2 dozer trucks not making the cut. From May 22nd until June 25th, the Super Summer Happy Meals would show up. This would be in Fresno, California, and these would, of course, feature more buckets. From October 2nd until the 31st in Evansville, Indiana, you could see Zoo Face as your Happy Meal toy, which are these like kind of creepy half masks that just cover up your nose and mouth. Throughout the year in Florida, St. Louis, and Buffalo, you might find a Bigfoot toy in there. And I don't mean Bigfoot, the cryptid fictional monster. I'm talking about the monster truck. In Michigan, Illinois, and Houston, you might find yourself getting a Castle Maker Happy Meal, which featured different sandcastle molds you could use to build different parts of a castle. In the New England area, you might get a High Flying Kite Happy Meal, which of course would have a kite featuring one of your favorite McDonald Land characters: Hamburglar, Birdie, Ronald. The Lunchbox Happy Meal, which would hold your food, came in a number of different colors: red, blue, green, yellow, as well as stickers that you can decorate it with. But then in my opinion, the superior Happy Meal lunchbox was the McDonald Land TV lunchbox that was only available in New England. I just think that these designs are a lot more fun than just the single color ones that were in the southern states. In 1988, from January 1st until the 28th, we had the Sailors Happy Meal toys. These would be boats of different types that would feature McDonald Land characters. Now, there were 4 that were in the regular Happy Meals, and then 2 that were featured only for children under 3 years old. From February 5th until March 10th, DuckTales toys would show up with Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Webby, or Launchpad. March 11th through April 7th, Fraggle Rock would release its toys nationwide, swapping out the dozers for 2 of the other Fraggles, and then having 2 little figurines for the younger kids. April 15th to May 12th, we got Crayola coming in here again. From May 20th until June 23rd, the Super Summer Happy Meal toys would be in here with buckets, but also with a number of different inflatable toys, including a beach ball, a little sailboat with Grimace on it, and then like a little disc with Ronald McDonald paragliding. July 8th until August 4th would have Happy Meals featuring the Walt Disney character Bambi and some of his friends. August 12th through September 8th, we have the on-the-go lunch boxes coming in. They're kind of like a hybrid between the two, right? They've got some color with the sticker on the front, but they're mostly just all one color, solid. From September 30th until October 27th, you might find yourself with a Zoo Face Happy Meal, of course with options, again, for the little kids with those ones at the bottom. And then, of course, in October, you might also find yourself getting one of the Halloween pails. October 28th to November 17th, the Muppet Babies are coming back to the Happy Meals, this time not as toys, but in books, with 3 different books to collect: Baby Piggy the Living Doll, Just Kermit and Me, and The Legend of Gimme Gulch. November 25th until December 22nd, Oliver and Company would have finger puppets included in the Happy Meals to support the launch of that movie. And then rounding out the year from December 30th of 1988 until January 26th of 1989, we would have the McNugget Buddies showing up. When it comes to some of those filler Happy Meals in 1988, we have the Big Top Happy Meal boxes, and then another contender for pretty lame Happy Meal toy, luggage tags. When it comes to regional Happy Meal toys, in the spring of 1988, we had the new Archies in St. Louis. Consider picking up some of these for your favorite Riverdale fan. In the spring in Cleveland, Ohio, you might have found yourself getting toys tied in with SeaWorld of Ohio. Or if you were in San Antonio in the summer, you might find more stuffed toys associated with that one. In July of 1988, Garfield is getting tested out for a future nationwide release in Erie, Pennsylvania and Charleston, South Carolina. September 9th to September 29th in Alabama and Georgia, you might find yourself getting an Olympic Sports Happy Meal with 6 different sports pins to collect. Once we get to the fall of 1988 in New York and Pennsylvania, you might find yourself getting books based off of Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit, with 4 in total being available. In maybe the most limited regional run that we've seen yet, there were Black History Happy Meals that were released in the city of Detroit. These ones had different coloring books that were available. In New England and parts of Florida, you could find yourself getting a Flintstones Kid toy in your Happy Meal. If you're under 3, you get that Dino. Texas, Connecticut, and Virginia got to try out some different Hot Wheels toys, 12 of them available to collect. In California, New Jersey, Chicago, and St. Louis, Mac Tonight, who had become a big promotional character for the restaurant, was getting featured in his own Happy Meal line. Oklahoma, I guess, couldn't afford to get the Hot Wheels, so they got the Matchbox Super GT cars. In St. Louis, the McDonald's Land Movables were available. These were a type of toy that you don't see a ton of nowadays, but where you just have a character who has wires inside of it, but they're covered in rubber. So you can bend them into all kinds of different shapes. Springfield, Missouri got Sports Ball Happy Meals, which is maybe my favorite name out of all of the Happy Meals we've seen so far. Essentially just little hacky sacks. And then finishing out the year 1988, we had the Turbo Max. Again, cars that featured McDonald's Land characters. This time, though, we're losing Officer Big Mac and putting Grimace in there instead. From February 3rd, 1989 until March 2nd, you could get yourself a bedtime Happy Meal. Again, you could get yourself a toothbrush or a cup or other bedtime related items like a washcloth. From March 17th until April 20th, Mickey's Birthday Land Happy Meals would feature different racers tied into the Disney characters. April 21st till May 18th had Little Gardener Happy Meals, where you actually could get little seeds to grow your own plants along with tools to help you garden. From May 19th until June 15th, we get the return of the Changeables. This time, the roster has grown. There are 8 total robots this time, with the Quarter Pounder, also known as Galactaburger, Hot Cakes, also known as Robo Cakes, Large Fries, which is Fry Force, Shake, which is Crypto Cup, Big Mac, which is Macro Man, Soft Serve Cone, who is Turbo Cone, Cheeseburger, who is C2 Cheeseburger, and Small Fries, which was Frybot. June 23rd to July 20th, Garfield goes nationwide after a successful regional run. July 28th until August 24th, we have Lego Motion, which has Lego coming in again, but at least this time they are with new sets. From September 1st until the 28th, we have Fun with Food, which does include toy versions of the different food you might find in a Happy Meal. October 6th to the 31st, you get the Halloween Pails, but this time with a big makeover with the witch and the ghost now coming in different colors. Super glad the McGoblin is still around, though, in the classic orange. October 27th until November 23rd, we have Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers in the Happy Meals. And then November 24th until December 21st, we had 4 tub toys tied in with Disney's The Little Mermaid. And then from December 22nd, 1989 until January 18th, 1990, we would have the Funny Fry Friends, which similarly to the McNugget Buddies would be made up of the Fry Kids with interchangeable outfits. It is worth noting that the Funny Fry Friends did have a regional release this same year in California, Maryland, and Pennsylvania before they would get this full out release. When it comes to undated national releases, Rain or Shine is the only thing to talk about here, which is just a pretty generic Happy Meal box talking about like the weather. When it comes to the regional Happy Meals in spring, in Illinois, California, Missouri, and Alabama, you could of course get a bucket, but this time themed after the Easter Bunny. In Michigan and Wisconsin during the summer, you could find yourself getting a dinosaur talking storybook, which would come with a book and a cassette tape to read you the story. During the summer in St. Louis, the Muppet Kids would get a trial run with a new Happy Meal set. In the New England area during the summer, you could try out the Read Along with Ronald books, which featured 4 different books and cassette tape sets. During June, if you were in Greenland, South Carolina, or Fresno, California, you could get Beach Toy Happy Meals. These ones would all include different McDonald's Land characters. My favorite here is the birdie in a submarine. From September 1st until the 28th in Nevada, Hawaii, Southern Pennsylvania, San Francisco, and Portland, Oregon, you could get yourself a Raggedy Ann and Andy Happy Meal toy set. If you were in Northern California or St. Louis in September, you could get the Mix 'em Up Monsters, which would have a number of different monsters that you could, of course, mix up the parts of to create your own nightmare fuel. The Burger 6-pack to go Happy Meal that was available in Connecticut, Florida, and the Southwest United States is a very interesting one to me because I wasn't really able to find like what toy went along with it. And it just kind of is a 6-pack of burgers, which you can always order anyway. I'm not really sure about this one, but I do like the box. SeaWorld of Texas had another set of Happy Meal toys in San Antonio with some fun glasses and also additional stuffed toys. And then McDonald's Land put out their own sunglasses as well in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, featuring Ronald, Grimace, the Hamburglar, and Birdie. January 26th through February 22nd of 1990, we had the Berenstain Bears returning. This time, though, instead of being toys like they had previously been, now they were giving away books. Now, the books you could get were either the regular books from the series or also activity books that tied in with each of them as well. The Real Ghostbusters, the cartoon based off of the Ghostbusters movie, would have a new Happy Meal set. These toys would be different bike accessories. From March 30th until April 26th, the Peanut characters would be in the Happy Meals, where you could get either Charlie Brown, Linus, Lucy, or of course Snoopy. From April 26th until May 24th, we would get the Camp McDonald Land Happy Meals. These would feature toys that you could use on camping trips, such as eating utensils, canteens, and collapsible cups. From June 1st until June 28th, they had the McDonald's Beach Time Happy Meals. These would be very similar to some of the Happy Meals we would see back in the 80s with inflatable beach toys, and then also buckets that the meals themselves would come in. From July 6th until August 2nd, we will get the first of a ton of Disney collaborations with The Jungle Book. From August 3rd until August 30th, you could get toys that tied into the Nintendo game Super Mario Bros. 3. Though I wasn't old enough to be getting these myself at this point, I definitely know that somebody around me got them because I have very strong memories of both the Goomba that can flip and the Mario. From September 2nd until October 4th, Tom and Jerry would be in the Happy Meals with the Tom and Jerry Band. You'll notice here that this Happy Meal would be coming in a bag and not in a box. This is something that McDonald's over the years would kind of go back and forth on. From September 7th until October 4th, the Turbo Mac Happy Meals would come out, which would feature cars that had McDonald's Land characters in them. These actually had been regional toys back in 1988, but now they're finally making their way to everyone nationally. Now, there are a couple different Happy Meals that we're going to be running from September 7th to October 4th, again, kind of depending on where you are. And this one here is called the Fry Benders. It's one of the oddest Happy Meal toys that I've seen. These guys are supposed to be little fries and they can bend, but they just look so weird. I do not like their design at all. Another September 7th to October 4th Happy Meal set would be the Happy Meal Carnival, which again would feature McDonald Land toys, this time with different carnival rides that they could be on. And then the final September 7th to October 4th Happy Meal set that you could be getting was the Sports Ball set, which has kind of grown over the years and has shown up at different times. From October 5th to 25th, you could get yourself the Happy Meal Halloween pails, now with the McBoo actually being a glow-in-the-dark pail. Blue the Bear was showing up quite a bit in Happy Meals in the year 1990, with him also being featured in the Tailspin Happy Meals, these ones running from November 2nd until the 29th. And then finishing out the national Happy Meal toys for the year was the set tied in with the Disney movie release, The Rescuers Down Under. You could look through these little things and see different shots from the movie. So now we'll jump into the regional Happy Meals from the year 1990, and from February 2nd until the 24th, you could get yourself a Valentine's Happy Meal, which featured Scratch and Sniff Valentine's Day cards. In July of 1990 in Savannah, Georgia, you could get a Barbie or Hot Wheels car in your Happy Meal. And in the same month in Northern Illinois and South Carolina, they had the I Like Bikes Happy Meals, which had different bike accessories, which featured McDonald's characters. If you lived in Oklahoma or Texas in August, you could get yourself a Dink the Little Dinosaur Happy Meal. From September 7th until October 4th, if you lived in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, or Louisiana, you could get these Hat Happy Meals. Again, from September 7th until October 4th, if you found yourself in the southern United States, your Happy Meal might possibly have a McDonald's Land Dough, which of course is just a ripoff of Play-Doh. And then finishing out 1990, if you lived in Illinois or Ohio from September 7th until October 4th, you could get a McDrive-Thru Crew Happy Meal, which featured different McDonald's foods driving cars. And don't worry, the trend of characters driving cars from the 1980s will be very strong as we continue into the 90s. In the year 1991, from January 4th until the 31st, there were the Good Morning Happy Meals. Now, these would be Happy Meals that had things that could help you get your day started. There were different combs you could use for your hair, plastic cups, and of course, the lamest recurring McDonald's toy, the toothbrush. From February 8th until March 7th, the Tiny Toon Adventures Happy Meals would be at McDonald's. Each one of these cars actually featured 2 characters, one on either side. From March 8th to April 11th, the Muppet Babies would be back in the Happy Meals, this time all riding connectable vehicles. From March 18th to April 11th, Gravedale High would be the Happy Meal toys. Now, McDonald's has a pretty good record when it comes to having popular things be featured in the Happy Meals, but they can't all be winners. From March 14th to April 11th, the Happy Meals theme was Circus. This time the toys, though, were based on the McDonaldland characters with a circus theme. From April 12th to May 16th, Nature's Helpers would be the theme of the Happy Meals, and this would feature different gardening tools that would come with different seeds that you could plant so you could grow your own flowers. May 24th to June 20th, we get the return of a favorite, this time with the McDino changeables. So this time, instead of it being food that would turn into robots, it would be food that would turn into dinosaurs. There were 8 regular toys to collect, with 2 for the under 3 crowd. You had the McDino Cone, Triceratops, Big Macosaurus Rex, Hot Cakesadactyl, Quarter Pounder with Cheezosaurus, McNuggetsasaurus, Happy Mealodon, and the Fryceratops, with the Bronto Cheeseburger and small Fryceratops for the little kids. Disney is showing up again from July 5th until August 1st with the first of a few 101 Dalmatians Happy Meals we'll see this decade. This one with 4 different posable characters. From August 2nd until the 28th, Barbie and Hot Wheels would come out with another national-wide Happy Meal. From August 29th until September 5th, the Connectables would be essentially the same Happy Meal toys as the Muppet Babies featured earlier this year, this time though just with McDonald's Land characters. And then running at that same time, again from August 29th until September 5th, there were other vehicles that had McDonald's Land characters, these ones though being called the Crazy Vehicles. And then if that wasn't enough, running still at that same time, they also had the McDonald's Land characters on bikes. So no matter what Happy Meal toy you're getting at this time, those McDonald's Land characters are going to be riding on something. September 6th to October 3rd, Discover the Rainforest would be the Happy Meal theme. And these Happy Meals would feature one of 4 different books, either an activity book, a paint and reveal book, a sticker book, or an adventure storybook. This year from Halloween, from October 11th to the 31st, they would not put out the buckets. Instead, they would put out McBoo bags, which I think to most people would be seen as a downgrade. From November 8th until December 5th, we would have the Super Looney Tunes with snap-on costumes. These would feature Bugs Bunny, the Tasmanian Devil, Petunia Pig, and Daffy Duck, all dressed up as different DC superheroes. And then finishing out the national campaigns for the year from December 13th until January 9th, we had Happy Meals based off of Steven Spielberg's new movie, Hook. Out of all of these, I remember the Mermaid the most. I used to think it was a Barbie, so that was a fun thing to see. It was tied to this movie instead. As we get into the regional Happy Meals in Texas, from March 8th until April 12th, you could get Alvin and the Chipmunk Happy Meals. Running from March 14th until April 11th in California, Washington, Pennsylvania, and New England, they had the Mighty Mini Happy Meals. From March 14th until April 11th in Florida, Pigsburg Pigs, another, I'm assuming, TV show that I just never heard of, would be in there. And then in the northeastern United States, running in the summer and the fall, they actually tried out breakfast Happy Meals, which would not take off in the long term. From August to September in Indiana, New England, and Kansas City, Missouri, you could get yourself one of the sports balls. They're still showing up. And then running from October 10th through December, you could get at the airport locations these Friendly Skies Happy Meals. And then in another failed experiment in Connecticut and New England, the McDonald's Pizza Happy Sacks were available. As we move into 1992, from January 3rd until February 2nd, we would have Mysteries of the Lost Arches. Now, these were obviously inspired by Indiana Jones and would feature different tools that you could use while going on adventures. In 1992, from January 31st until March 5th, the Potato Head Kids were back in Happy Meals. And then from March 6th until April 2nd, the Young Astronauts Happy Meals were also going to be available again. From April 10th until May 7th, you could get Happy Meal toys based off of the Back to the Future cartoon. And then from May 8th until June 4th, Nature's Watch Happy Meals would be available and would give you, again, tools that you could use to garden or feed the birds. From June 7th until July 9th, we have maybe the most influential Happy Meal toys to ever be released, and those are the toys tied to Batman Returns. These are notable because if you've ever seen Batman Returns, the movie's definitely not for kids, and so people were pretty upset that these were being marketed to kids in the Happy Meals. So it would definitely make it so McDonald's and other restaurants would be a little more hesitant when it came to what movies they would be supporting and sponsoring in their kids' meals. From July 10th until August 6th, Michael Jordan's Fitness Fun Happy Meals would be available, which would have different toys that would aim to get kids out and exercising. From August 7th until September 3rd, you could get yourself either a Barbie or a Hot Wheel Mini Streaks toy. And then from September 11th until October 8th, the behind-the-scenes Happy Meals were available to help kids explore the arts. From October 9th until the 29th, McDonald's would right the wrongs of the year past by reintroducing the Halloween pails, this time with an added bonus of a cookie cutter lid. From October 30th until November 26th, the Tiny Toons would be back with a different set of cars for their characters. And then from November 27th until December 31st, you had your choice between either a Cabbage Patch Kid or a Tonka truck. As we get into the regional Happy Meals for the year, in Albany, New York, and in Connecticut, you could get a Crayola squeeze bottle from January 31st until March 5th. From January 31st until March 5th in Maryland, Hawaii, Illinois, and Washington, you could get a water game in your Happy Meal, and one of those ones where you'd push the button and it would blow the bubbles and you try to get the rings to hang on different things. The Wild Friends Happy Meals were available in Southern California and Indiana from January 31st to March 5th. And then finishing out the regional Happy Meals for the year, again from March 31st until March 5th, Yo Yogi was in the Happy Meals in California, Northern Florida, Northern Georgia, and portions of Alabama. In 1993, from January 8th until February 4th, you could get an M Squad Happy Meal toy. These are toys that were meant to kind of be spy toys, helping you solve mysteries, that kind of thing. From February 5th until March 4th, the TV show Dinosaurs would have Happy Meals tied to it. Each one of these had a button that you could push that would make the toy move. This set here is where it's really going to start getting very nostalgic for me. There are a ton of Happy Meal toys this year that really stand out, including these ones from March 5th until April 8th, which were called the Food Fundamentals. I especially remember the Apple Ruby. From April 9th until May 6th, the Looney Tunes Quack Up car chase vehicles would be featured in the Happy Meals. And then from May 7th until June 10th, Out for Fun Happy Meals would be featured, and these would have different Happy Meal toys that would encourage you to go outside and play. The inflatable ball, very nostalgic for me with Ronald being in that hot air balloon. June 11th to July 8th, Nickelodeon would have Game Gadgets toys in the Happy Meals. These toys were all either good for being loud or just annoying to your parents or siblings. From July 9th until August 5th, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs would get Happy Meals based on that movie. And then from August 6th until September 2nd, you could choose between, again, a Barbie or a Hot Wheels toy. September 10th through October 7th, again, are going to have toys that are encouraging kids to get outside and explore nature with the Field Trip Happy Meals. These ones would come with magnifiers, kaleidoscopes, a leaf printer where you can do leaf rubbings, and then the Explorer bag, which, in my opinion, is probably the weakest of all four. Just a bag. Instead of putting out a bucket this year from October 8th until the 29th, the McNugget Buddies would get mix and match Halloween costumes. And then from November 5th until the 25th, we got another all-time classic with Batman the Animated Series, which were put out in part to advertise the movie Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And then finishing out the year from December 10th, 1993, running through January 6th, 1994, we had the Totally Toys Holiday Happy Meals from Mattel, which would feature smaller versions of some of their more popular toys. 1993 would see the end of an era with the regional Happy Meals kind of coming to a complete stop, with the only one happening from August to September, and being those linkable McDonald's Land toys that we talked about last year. In 1994, from January 7th until February 4th, Makin' Movies Happy Meals would include toys that were connected to the filmmaking process. And then from February 4th until March 3rd, you could collect one of 4 different Happy Meal toys that tied into the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. From March 4th to 31st, you could get toys that tied into Bobby's World, which was a cartoon that I actually do remember, inspired by the life of Howie Mandel. From April 8th until May 5th, you could get Earth Days Happy Meals, which again would be trying to get kids out into nature. From May 6th to June 2nd, the Animaniacs would be featured in the Happy Meals for the first time, with 8 different vehicles to collect with characters from the show. From June 3rd to July 7th, you could get Happy Meals that tied in with the Flintstones live action movie, with each one of the toys including both a building and a car, so you could build your own bedrock. From July 8th until August 4th, you could get Mickey and Friends Epcot Adventure Happy Meal toys, which featured Disneyland characters in outfits inspired by different countries around the world. From August 5th until September 8th, you will not be surprised to hear that there was yet another Barbies and Hot Wheels Happy Meal collaboration. September 9th until October 6th, the Magic School Bus would come into the Happy Meals. From October 7th until the 27th, McDonald's would bring back the Halloween Happy Meal buckets. And then from October 28th until December 1st, McDonald's would actually celebrate its 15th birthday with 15 different Happy Meal toys, which would tie back to some of the most popular Happy Meals they'd had so far. Finishing out the year from December 2nd until the 29th, you would again get your choice between either a Cabbage Patch Kid or a Tonka toy. Starting off 1995, January 6th through February 2nd, you could get Jim Henson's Muppet Workshop toys. That would allow you to mix and match different parts. From February 3rd until March 2nd, you had a choice between either a Polly Pocket or an Attack Pack toy, which is a series of toys I do not remember, but it looks like vehicles that can also eat you like monsters, so that might be worth looking into. Seems pretty cool. March 3rd through the 31st would have the Space Rescue Happy Meals. These would have different toys similar to the spy toys that had come before, but this time instead of them being themed after secret agents, they were themed after astronauts. April 1st through the 30th, you could get the Amazing Wildlife Happy Meals, which would feature one of 8 different animals from around the world. If you bought yourself a Happy Meal from May 1st to the 31st, you could get yourself a toy based off of the Spider-Man animated series. From June 1st until the 30th of 1995, Disneyland was celebrating its 40th anniversary with a tie-in over at McDonald's. Each one of these toys had a different image that you could see by looking through the little hole inside of it. And from July 1st until the 31st in 1995, you can get a Happy Meal toy tied in with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Now, if you're like me, you might stop here and say, like, wait, I thought that they had toys that were actually the Zords. Those were actually separate from the Happy Meals and had to be purchased outside of the Happy Meals. So I understand the comments where people say, hey, what about this? I thought this was here. Hey, I get it. There are times where I am surprised by what is and isn't a Happy Meal toy as well. August 1st to the 31st, you're going to get the yearly team up of Barbie and Hot Wheels. Moving into the month of September, there would be toys that would tie in with the busy world of Richard Scarry. Similar to the Flintstone Happy Meal before, these ones would all feature a car and a building so you could build out your own city. From October 1st to the 31st, McDonald's is again going to be moving away from the Halloween pails and would have a Happy Meal called What Am I Going to Be for Halloween, which had the different McDonald's Land characters that would come with removable costumes. From November 1st until the 30th, the Animaniacs would be back, this time with each toy having like a stretchy accordion piece in it. And then finishing out 1995 for the month of December, we again had Mattel's Totally Toy Holiday Happy Meals, featuring again smaller versions of some of their most popular toys. January 19th until February 15th of 1996, we would get toys based off of the show VR Troopers, which of course was trying to ride the hype of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. February 16th until March 14th, you could get one of 4 bath toys from the Muppet Treasure Island Happy Meals. March 15th until April 11th, you could either get a Little Pet Shop or Transformers Beast Wars Happy Meal toy. And from April 19th until May 16th, McDonald's would put out some of their most iconic Happy Meal toys with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. Each one of these Happy Meal toys would come with a miniature version of their videotape case that the toy could fit inside. May 17th until June 14th, Marvel superheroes would be in the Happy Meals, with a lot of them, of course, riding different vehicles. June 14th until July 11th, you could get a stuffed toy based on the movie Babe. And then since it is the summertime from July 12th until the 15th of August, you could get either another Barbie or another Hot Wheels toy. August 16th until September 12th, you could get a Happy Meal toy tied in with Aladdin's second sequel, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. And then from September 20th until October 2nd, you could get a finger puppet based off of the art of Eric Carle, who to me is most known for putting out the book The Very Hungry Caterpillar. October 11th until the 31st, McNugget Buddies are going to get another set of Halloween costumes, which means it's another year of us not having Halloween buckets. Getting into November, from the 1st until the 26th, you can get toys based off of the movie Space Jam. And then finishing out the year from November 27th, 1996, and going all the way until January 2nd of 1997, we had a special Happy Meal for the 101 Dalmatians movie that was released, which actually had 101 different Dalmatian toys for you to collect. From January 10th, 1997 until February 7th, the toys that you could get in the Happy Meal were from the Nickelodeon Tangle series, which had different monsters that had different interchangeable parts. From February 7th until March 6th, you could get Happy Meal toys associated with the Mighty Ducks animated series, which would be one of 4 different sliding pucks. March 7th until April 3rd, your Happy Meal toy would be tied in with the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And then from April 11th until the 24th, you had some of the most popular Happy Meal toys to ever come out. Ty's Teeny Beanie Babies. April 25th to May 21st, you would get the second series of Walt Disney's Home Video Masterpiece Collection. From May 30th until June 19th, you could have your choice between either the Spinning Sky Dancers or Micro Machine toys. And then from June 20th until July 24th, you could get one of 10 toys from the Hercules Happy Meals. Each one of these would come with both a character and a bigger character, usually one of the Titans, that you could actually put the smaller character inside of. From August 1st to the 24th, you could get the Animal Pals Happy Meals, which would give you one of 6 different small stuffed toys. August 15th to September 24th, we would have another Power Rangers ripoff with Saban's Beetleborgs being featured in the Happy Meals. September 12th to October 2nd, you could get a Sleeping Beauty toy. Not only were these toys, they were also different things like rulers and pencils and pens as well. From October 3rd to the 23rd, we would have the least Halloween-y toys that McDonald's has put out in a while by having toys based off of the Jungle Book. They did, though, at least come with Halloween candy that the toys could dispense. Even though it's not in the summer like it had been in the past, from October 24th until November 27th, you can still get another Barbies or Hot Wheels toy. And November 28th until December 25th, there were Happy Meal toys based off of The Little Mermaid. Finishing out the year from December 26, 1997, and getting us into 1998, going all the way to January 29th, we have another set of toys based off of 101 Dalmatians. This time, though, it's based off the cartoon TV series. January 30th until February 26th, Hercules would be back in the Happy Meals. Though if I'm going to be completely honest, these ones are definitely a step down from the ones we had when the movie was coming out in theaters. February 27th until March 26th, the Happy Meal had 8 different toys that were based off of the Disney classic Peter Pan. March 27th until April 16th, Beast Wars was back, but this time it was teaming up with My Little Pony. Disney's Animal Kingdom would be in the Happy Meals from April 24th until May 21st. These would tie in with the new theme park being opened in Florida. From May 22nd until June 18th, Ty's Teeny Beanie Babies would be back with a new set of small stuffed animals. Next up, from June 19th until July 6th, we would get a set of toys meant to promote Mulan, Disney's newest animated movie. July 17th until August 13th, Tamagotchi toys would have a tie-in with the Happy Meals. And then August 14th until September 10th, we would again see Barbie and Hot Wheels teaming up. September 11th until October 1st, we would have another set of Disney toys based off of their VHS tapes, but these ones were definitely, again, a downgrade because they weren't inside of their cassettes. Instead, they were just riding on top of them and could actually connect together to make a train. October 9th to 29th again would feature toys that could dispense nerds. This time, though, they were based on the McDonald's Land characters. And though that does mean that we aren't having a pail again for Halloween, we did at least get this probably scariest picture of Ronald McDonald that exists, where he's dressed up like a scarecrow. October 30th until November 26th, the Happy Meal toys would tie in with The Lion King 2: Simba's Pride, which was released direct to video. And then from November 27th until December 24th, the Happy Meal toys would all tie in with the newest Pixar movie, A Bug's Life. Disney's Recess would be the connection between 1998 and 1999, running from December 25th until January 21st. It's a great show, still holds up. From January 29th, 1999 until February 25th, we would have toys tying into the video release of Disney's Mulan. February 26th until March 25th, we would get some Winnie the Pooh backpack clips. From March 26th until April 22nd, Furbies would make their way into the Happy Meals. With all the different combinations of colors and poses, there were actually 80 different versions of these Furbies that you could collect if you wanted to try to get them all. Next up in the Happy Meals would be the Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog TV show that was about magical knights. You could get these toys in the Happy Meal from April 3rd until May 20th. From May 21st until June 17th, Ty's Teeny Beanie Babies would be available again, with 12 new small Beanie Babies to collect. June 18th until July 15th, Disney's Tarzan was coming out, and so you could get toys that went along with that one. And then from July 16th until August 12th, they had one of the weirdest sets of Happy Meal toys, which were the ones that went along with Inspector Gadget. Each one came with a different part of Inspector Gadget, and so to actually get the full figure, you had to collect them all. It was weird just getting like an arm in your Happy Meal. August 13th until September 16th, again we had Happy Meals featuring Barbies and Hot Wheels. And then Disney's Doug's First Movie would have Happy Meal toys tied into its video release from September 17th until October 14th. October 15th until the 28th, we would see the return of the Happy Meal Halloween pails. They would still have the cookie cutter lids, but they lost the faces, so it's, again, a downgrade. McDonald's continues to drop the ball when it comes to Halloween. From October 29th until November 25th, Lego would show up in the Happy Meals again. This time they would be tied in with the McDonald Land characters, which recently had received a kind of frightening redesign. Each one of these different sets would have a piece that had a face of one of the McDonald Land characters on it. November 26th until December 30th, you could get toys that tied in with Disney and Pixar's newest release, Toy Story 2. There are a lot of toys in this collection, so if you were trying to collect them all, that could be quite difficult. And then just barely being featured in the 90s from December 31st, 1999 until January 27th, the year 2000, quite fittingly, is another Barbie and Hot Wheels set. This one coined once in a lifetime, which we all know is actually not true, once in a year at the very least. From January 28th until February 24th, we would have a Happy Meal celebrating the video release of Disney's Tarzan. And then from March 3rd until March 22nd, we would have the sequel to the Goofy movie, titled An Extremely Goofy Movie, featured in the Happy Meals. From March 23rd until April 13th, Furbies would be back in the Happy Meals. And then from April 14th until the 27th, interestingly, we would have just a regular Happy Meal with the Teletubbies, which I would think would have just been aimed at the little kids, but this was actually the full-blown Happy Meal for the time. From April 28th until May 18th, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue would be the featured toys. And from May 19th until June 12th, the theatrical release of Disney's Dinosaur would come into McDonald's, with both hand puppets and talking toys. The Teeny Beanie Babies would be back from June 13th until July 13th, this time with 4 different mini sets to collect, as well as some top secret designs. From July 14th until August 3rd, we would get Fingerboard Pro Gear, which would include different stickers to customize your different stairs and ramps that you could do tricks off of. August 4th to the 24th, the Happy Meal was split between Hello Kitty and Beast Machines Transformers. Winnie the Pooh would be back from August 25th until September 14th, this time though promoting the video release of the Tigger movie. September 15th to October 12th, we get that annual team up of Barbie and Hot Wheels. And then to celebrate Halloween this year, from October 13th until November 2nd, Monster Crazy Bones, which would feature a number of different designs and colors to collect. November 3rd to the 20th, Disney would be back with their toys that would fit inside their mini VHS boxes, this time called the Disney Video Showcase Collection. From November 21st until December 21st, to celebrate the release of Disney's 102 Dalmatians, we would have another huge promotion with over 100 Dalmatians to collect in the Happy Meals. And then from December 22nd, 2000 until January 11th, 2001, we would have toys featuring characters from The Emperor's New Groove. There would also be one special collection of toys from the year 2000, and that's the Millennium Collection, featuring 28 different Disney plush characters. In the year 2001, from January 12th until February 1st, the Happy Meal would feature toys from the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command TV show, a show that, in my opinion, is very underrated, forgotten, but just a ton of fun. Another Disney show would be featured next from February 2nd until the 22nd with Disney's The House of Mouse. That would come with one of 6 different stuffed characters. From February 23rd until March 22nd, Poochie Pets would be in the Happy Meals, which would feature one of 3 different designs. From March 30th until April 18th, you could get toys that tied in with the new movie Spy Kids. Each one of these toys was a different spy gadget. I definitely remember having the watch. March 30th, 2001 would also see a big change come to McDonald's with the introduction of the Mighty Kids Meal. Now, I'm not going to go super in depth with the Mighty Kids Meal, but I do bring it up here because in the comments of the original version of this video, a lot of people mentioned that I'd forgotten the first run of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that also included one of 3 music CDs. So I just wanted to clarify that those actually were included exclusively in Mighty Kids Meals. A couple other Mighty Kids Meal exclusives were one of 3 Treasure Planet CD-ROM games, a few different Radio Disney music CDs, and a set of Bionicle cards. Most of those all coming out in the year 2002. If you'd be interested in hearing more about Mighty Kids Meals in the future, make sure to let me know in the comments. April 19th to May 17th would feature toys from Tiger Electronics. In here you can find things like those Poochie Pets, toys tied to different remote control cars, and Furbies. May 18th until June 14th, we would have another split Happy Meal, this time between Hello Kitty and Friends, with the toy aimed more at boys being Action Man. June 15th until July 10th, Atlantis the Lost Empire would have different characters riding vehicles, a throwback to an earlier time in Happy Meal history. And then as we move to July 11th through August 9th, we would get a number of different toys based on the series The Book of Pooh. August 10th to September 6th, again, we have it, you love it, the Barbie and Hot Wheels crossover. And September 7th through the 27th, we would have Diva Stars, and those were partnered with a huge one for me, the Bionicles. They would have little guys that could throw discs. September 28th until October 18th, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves would have plushie backpack clips. And then to celebrate Halloween from October 19th until November 1st, we would get buckets again, this time featuring characters from McDonald's Land. November 2nd until the 29th, Pixar's new movie Monsters, Inc. would have toys. I distinctly remember having the Water Noose and Celia. I still think I have that blue desk around here somewhere. From November 30th until December 27th, Toys R Us Animal Alley Minis would bring another small set of stuffed animals into the Happy Meals. And then from December 28th, 2001 until January 17th of the next year, 2002, I'm at kind of a loss. I was finding different results as to what was going on here. Some sources didn't have anything listed at all. Sometimes there were things listed as surprise toys. And then I even saw these what are called Ronald Wizard McDonald toys, which I couldn't find where they would belong anywhere else on the list. But yeah, with this, just trying my best when it comes to getting this information there out to you. So if this is incorrect, feel free to let me know in the comments below. From January 8th until February 14th in 2002, the RoboChi interactive family would grow from just pets to now include flowers, dinosaurs, robots, and even a robot baby. February 15th until March 7th, to celebrate the release of Disney's Return to Neverland, a sequel to Peter Pan, we had 6 different toys featured in the Happy Meals that could combine to create a pirate ship. Now from March 8th until April 4th, Disney would celebrate 100 years of magic by releasing a Happy Meal set that had 100 different Disney characters. Now the 100 years they would be mentioning here, because Disney likes to throw around 100 years as much as they can, would be the 100-year anniversary of Walt Disney's birth, which actually would have happened in 2001, but later in the year, thus letting this kind of fit in there in that grace period. From April 5th until the 25th, we would have Matchbox toys stepping in, and they would be joined by a newcomer to the Happy Meal game, Madame Alexander, who we will be seeing multiple times in the years to come. April 26th until May 23rd, we would have BattleBots as the toys you could get with your Happy Meal. And then May 24th until June 13th, Winnie the Pooh would be back again with the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, featuring one of 6 different stuffed animals. Winnie the Pooh was huge here in the late 90s and early 2000s. I feel like he's dropped off a bit. I don't see nearly as many Eeyore shirts as I used to. Next up is another Disney Happy Meal from June 14th until July 11th, this time with characters from Lilo and Stitch. And then Disney just continues to own the summer with characters from the Country Bears being in the Happy Meals from July 12th until August 1st. August 2nd to the 22nd, we would get toys tying in with Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, which you could combine to make Junie's little robot that he used in the movie. From August 23rd until September 12th, you'll love to see it. Again, it's that Barbie and Hot Wheels team up. This time you might get a chance of getting a Barbie accessory, and then the Hot Wheels is up their game a little bit by including launchers that could send the car flying. And then because we haven't had enough Disney yet this year, from September 13th until October 3rd, Beauty and the Beast would be featured in the Happy Meals. From October 4th until the 24th, LEGO would put out some Happy Meals for their set of toys called Galador, which is something I had completely forgotten, but I definitely had that little blue guy. I had no idea what he was from. If you have fond memories of Galador, I would love to hear about them in the comments below. And then just completely skipping Halloween altogether, from October 25th until November 20th, we would have Happy Meals featuring either a toy from Hello Kitty or Transformers Armada. The underrated Disney's Treasure Planet would be featured in the Happy Meals from November 21st until December 19th. And then crossing us from 2002 until 2003, from December 20th until January 9th, we would have toys for the movie Pinocchio. And no, not Disney's Pinocchio. These would be toys connected to the live-action version of Pinocchio, starring Italian actor Roberto Benigni. January 24th until February 2nd, we would have a split in the Happy Meals between Betty's Spaghetti and Tonka. And then from February 21st until March 13th, we would have interconnecting toys from The Jungle Book. March 14th until April 3rd, Inspector Gadget 2 would have a series of Happy Meal toys, and as memorable as the toys were for the first movie, featured back in the 90s, these ones were completely forgettable. From April 4th until May 1st, Knack Knack toys would be featured in the Happy Meals. These would be different toys that use magnets to stack together. From May 2nd until the 29th, we would have either Bratz dolls or toys tying in with the current version of the Masters of the Universe show. May 30th until June 26th, Finding Nemo would be featured in the Happy Meal, where you get one of 8 different characters. And June 27th until July 24th, you could get one of 6 handheld electronic games based on Sega video game properties, most of them being tied in to Sonic the Hedgehog. But not all of them. We've got Monkey Ball in there. From July 25th until August 14th, Spy Kids 3D Game Over would be featured in the Happy Meals, which would not only have a toy, but also a little book that you could see 3D images in. August 15th until September 4th, we would get that Barbie Hot Wheels team up that we love to see every year. And then September 5th until October 2nd, we would get Kim Possible Happy Meals, which would feature one of 8 different toys. From October 3rd until the 30th, we would at least get a celebration of Halloween, though not with buckets. This time you could choose between either getting one of 10 Madame Alexander dolls that would be dressed up in different costumes, or a stretchy screamer. Disney's back from October 31st until November 25th with the release of their new movie Brother Bear. And then they follow up with the next Happy Meal as well from November 26th until December 18th with toys tied to the release of the first Haunted Mansion movie starring Eddie Murphy. From December 19th, 2003 until January 8th, 2004, you could get either a Power Ranger Dino Thunder Happy Meal toy or a Disney Princess toy, which featured a number of different accessories, including gloves, necklaces, hair clips, crowns, and scepters. From January 9th until February 5th, you could get a toy tying into Lilo and Stitch the series based off of the movie. These all also came with Play-Doh, because each of these toys was actually a Play-Doh press. For the release of Disney's Lion King 1.5 on February 6th until March 4th, you could get one of these different finger puppets that actually would make sounds if you push the button on the bottom of them. From March 5th until April 1st, Lego would put out both the Click It and Sports line in the Happy Meals. And then from April 2nd until the 29th, the Dog brand would be featured in the Happy Meals, which would allow you to get one of 12 different breeds. April 30th until May 27th, ESPN Sports would be featured in the Happy Meals, but in a different mood from what they'd done in the past, where they would actually have toys that would let you play the sports. This time, they would just have video games themed to these different sports. From May 28th until June 24th, Neopets took over Happy Meals, where you could get one of 15 different Neopets, which each had 7 different color variations. From June 25th until July 22nd, we have Trouble in Paradise because Barbie has rebranded herself as My Scene, and she's not teaming up with Hot Wheels like she has in the past. She's got a new man, this year teaming up with Tony Hawk and his Boom Boom Huck Jam toys, which I promise I'm not making up. That's what they're actually called. From July 23rd until August 19th, Teeny Beanie Babies would be back, this time with Beanie Babies that would be celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Happy Meal. This means that the different bears would be either themed after different McDonald's Land characters or food items you could get at McDonald's. From August 20th until September 16th, not to be outdone, Hot Wheels would show up with a new girl on its arm, now teaming up with Polly Pocket. From September 17th until October 14th, you could either celebrate the 30th anniversary of Hello Kitty or get a toy tied in with G.I. Joe. And then in a move that pretty much disregards Halloween entirely again, you could either get a toy themed after Aladdin or the Madame Alexander dolls. From November 5th until December 2nd, Disney and Pixar's new movie The Incredibles would be featured with 8 different Happy Meal toys. And then Sega would be back again with more handheld games from December 3rd until the 27th. December 28th, 2004 until January 20th, 2005, we're going to have 2 Disney Channel shows featured in the Happy Meals, Dave the Barbarian and Lizzie McGuire, with the Lizzie McGuire toys actually having, I believe, a first for Happy Meals with the inclusion of CD-ROMs. January 8th, 2005 until February 24th, you could get either a My Little Pony toy or a Duel Masters toy, with the latter also including exclusive cards. February 25th until March 17th, you could find That's So Raven or NBA toys, representing every team in the league. To celebrate the DVD release of The Incredibles from March 18th until April 14th, Disney's Pixar Pals were included in Happy Meals, with 2 characters from 4 different Pixar movies featured. The dog toys must have been a big hit because the dog and the cat toys would be featured in Happy Meals from April 15th until May 12th. And Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon would have handheld electronic games featured in the Happy Meals from May 13th until June 9th. June 10th until July 7th, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl 3D would be what you would find in your Happy Meal. And Neopets would be back in Happy Meals again from July 8th until August 4th. August 5th until September 1st, our favorite duo is back together with Barbie and the Magical Pegasus and Hot Wheels Acceleracers being featured in the Happy Meals. September 2nd through the 29th, Walt Disney Parks and Resorts would have 10 different characters featured. And September 30th until October 27th, Madame Alexander would be back again, this time though teaming up with Nickelodeon's Tack. October 28th until November 22nd, Disney's Chicken Little would have 8 different toys. And then from November 23rd until December 15th, Power Rangers would be back again, but this time they would be partnered up with the TV show Witch. From December 16th of 2005, moving into January 19th of 2006, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe would be featured as the toys to celebrate the release of the new movie. Running from January 27th until February 23rd, Strawberry Shortcake would team up with Dragon Booster. And then from February 24th until March 16th, everyone's most remembered movie, Dougal, gets featured in those Happy Meals. If you know Dougal, let me know, because I definitely don't. Trolls and Spy Gear would be featured as Happy Meal toys from March 17th until April 13th, and they would be followed by Disney's The Wild from April 14th until May 11th. Build-A-Bear Workshop would have different plushes in the Happy Meals from May 12th until June 8th, and June 9th until July 6th. Disney and Pixar's Cars would have 8 different characters available to choose from. Toys tying into the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise would be available from July 7th until August 3rd. And then from August 4th until the 21st, you could either get a Polly Pocket in Polly's World or a Hummer toy. From September 1st until the 21st, Happy Meals would challenge you to take the Mario Challenge, which had you getting toys from a few different Nintendo properties. September 22nd until October 12th, we had 2 returning properties, though they had never teamed up before, with The Little Mermaid, which was now coming to DVD, and Bionicles. Hot Wheels and Barbies are back again from October 13th until November 2nd. And then we have our first DreamWorks movie showing up in Happy Meals with Flushed Away, running from November 3rd until the 30th. December 1st until the 21st is From Zizzle, which was a mini version of something you could plug into like a CD player, would be available in Happy Meals in a number of different colors. Running from December 22nd, 2006 until January 18th, 2007, you could either get yourself a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX toy with cards or a toy from the brand Littlest Pet Shop. January 26, 2007 until February 22nd would feature Happy Meal toys from the Nickelodeon show Cat Scratch. Some of these stuffed animals actually had a number of different variations, so it did up the number that you could collect. February 23rd until March 22nd, you could get either a My Little Pony or a Wowie Robotics, which featured smaller versions of a number of different toys that were popular at the time, including Robo Sapien. March 23rd until April 19th, Madame Alexander was back, but this time with dolls dressed up as characters from The Wizard of Oz, or you could always get a Ninja Turtle. That was going along with the animated movie that was released at the time. April 20th until May 10th, American Idol put out a series of 6 toys, many of these looking very similar to like some Nickelodeon toys that had come out in the 90s. And then we have another DreamWorks movie from May 11th until June 7th, with Shrek the Third showing up in the Happy Meals. It isn't just DreamWorks that's showing up in here now, though. We've got Sony Pictures Animation with their movie Surf's Up, running from June 8th until July 5th. And then from July 6th until August 2nd, Hello Kitty is back again, this time teaming up with Flywheels. August 3rd to 30th, you could either get another Build-A-Bear Workshop plush or a toy that went along with the new cartoon series Legion of Superheroes. August 31st until September 27th, Cartoon Network had a number of toys tied into their different shows. September 28th until October 25th, My Scene and Hot Wheels Stunt Strikers could be found in Happy Meals. In October 26th until November 15th, Jerry Seinfeld's B-Movie was featured. And then from November 16th until December 3rd, Shrek flexes his superiority by being featured in a second Happy Meal in the same calendar year, tying into both the DVD release of Shrek the Third and Christmas. December 14th, 2007 until January 17th, 2008, we would see a team up between Strawberry Shortcake and Bionicles. And then January 18th, 2008 until February 14th, you could get one of 4 For Real plushes or one of 4 toys tied into El Tigre, The Adventures of Manny Rivera. February 15th to March 13th, the Spiderwick Chronicles movie would have toys, and March 14th through April 10th, Walt Disney World would have toys both celebrating the Pirates of the Caribbean and Disney princesses. American Idol would be back, this time with little characters, from April 11th until May 8th, and May 9th until June 5th. Speed Racer would have both cars and accessories aimed at girls available in the Happy Meals. Kung Fu Panda would be the toys in the Happy Meals from June 6th until July 3rd. July 4th to 24th, The Littlest Pet Shop and Transformers Animated would be your toy choices, and they would be followed from July 25th until August 14th with either a Polly Pocket or another set of Spy Gear. From August 15th until September 11th, you could get Happy Meals that would celebrate the Star Wars saga, specifically lining up with the release of the Clone Wars animated movie. And then from September 12th until October 9th, for some reason, Madame Alexander is doing another Wizard of Oz set of dolls, this time including even more characters. On the other side of the Happy Meal, though, you could get toys tied into Lego Batman the video game, which are toys that look like Lego minifigures, but aren't actually Lego minifigures. From October 10th to the 30th, we are back to basics with Barbie and Hot Wheels. And then from October 31st until December 3rd, Madagascar Escape to Africa would have a number of different toys you could collect. December 4th, 2008 until January 1st, 2009, Bionicles Mystica and My Little Pony would give you a number of different toy choices. And then January 9th, 2009 until February 5th, Hotel for Dogs would give McDonald's another excuse to have stuffed animals to hand out to kids. From February 6th until the 26th, Hello Kitty would celebrate 35 years with 35 different toys. But if those weren't for you, you could also get yourself an electronic sports game instead. February 27th until March 26th, The Littlest Pet Shop is back again, this time teaming up with the spectacular Spider-Man. DreamWorks Monsters vs. Aliens would be running in Happy Meals from March 27th until April 23rd. And then in an unprecedented move, from April 24th until May 21st, Kids Bop would put out 8 different CDs, each featuring 5 different songs. The 5th song on each one of these CDs is exactly the same, which is why I don't list it here. It is a Kids Bop original song. Feel free to check out the entire track listing of each CD right here. Moving then to May 22nd until June 18th, Night at the Museum 2 was released in theaters and had a number of different toys tied into it here at McDonald's. It was followed June 19th until July 16th by Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs, which was then followed July 17th until October 13th to a new set of Teeny Beanie Babies. This one again celebrating an anniversary for Happy Meals, this one being the 30th anniversary. August 14th until September 10th, your choices were between Lego Racers and American Girl, with each one of those Happy Meals or different activity books tied in with the American Girl series. I'm happy to report that in the last year of the decade, Barbie and Hot Wheels are still together from September 11th until October 1st. This time though, Barbie has completely moved away from putting out dolls and is now just putting out accessories. October 2nd through the 22nd, you could either get a Build-A-Bear Workshop toy or a toy and cards combo from the series Bakugan. October 23rd until November 12th, My Little Pony teamed up with the release of the animated movie Astro Boy, and they were followed November 13th through December 10th by Nerf, which had a number of different sports-related toys and blaster toys, and Strawberry Shortcake, which came with different notebooks and stamps. And then finishing out the decade, running from December 11th until the 31st, we had toys from James Cameron's Avatar, which boasted that when you play, we play back, featuring different sights and sounds. From January 1st, 2010 until the 21st, you could get toys that tied in with Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Squeakquel. From February 5th until the 25th, Nickelodeon's The Penguins of Madagascar TV show would be featured in the Happy Meals. Moving on to February 26th until March 25th, you could either get a Happy Meal that featured toys that tied into Star Wars or the Nickelodeon show iCarly. March 26th until April 22nd, the theatrical release of How to Train Your Dragon in 3D was the theme for the toys at McDonald's. And then from April 3rd until May 13th, it's once again time for everybody's favorite team up, Barbie and Hot Wheels, this time specifically Barbie in the Mermaid Tale and Hot Wheels Battle Force 5. Shrek is making his return to the Happy Meals from May 14th until June 10th with a series of different figurines, and then again June 11th through the 24th, this time with a series of watches. June 25th through July 22nd, The Last Airbender would be featured as the Happy Meal toy, but unfortunately it's not for the cartoon, it's actually for M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender in 3D. the live-action adaptation. July 23rd until August 19th, you could either get a Marvel Heroes or Littlest Pet Shop toy. And then from August 20th until September 16th, you could get toys based off the cartoon Batman the Brave and the Bold, or dolls from Madame Alexander, these ones tying in with different fairy tales. September 17th until October 14th, Star Wars would be back in Happy Meals again, with different finger skateboards featuring a number of characters from the show. And if that wasn't your speed, you could also get a Strawberry Shortcake toy. October 15th until the 28th, Halloween buckets would be back at McDonald's. This time, though, they would be themed off of Mr. Potato Head, so each bucket would come with a sheet of stickers, which would allow you to decorate it any way you see fit. October 29th until November 25th, DreamWorks Megamind would be in the Happy Meals. From November 26th until December 16th, you could choose between a Transformer figure or a Hello Sanrio Hello Kitty watch. And then finishing up the year from December 17th, 2010 and into January 13th of 2011, you could either get a Bakugan toy or an Only Hearts Pets plush, which would also include an online code that would give you access to an online pet as well. From January 21st, 2011 until February 17th, you could choose between a My Little Pony toy and a Tonka truck. And then February 18th until March 10th, again, we're getting that Barbie and Hot Wheels team up with the Barbie set tying into the movie A Fairy Secret, and the Hot Wheels set Battle Force 5 Fused. From March 11th until April 7th, you could get another Littlest Pet Shop toy or a toy that tied in with the animated show Young Justice. From April 8th until the 28th, toys from the movie Rio would be available in the Happy Meals. And then next up from April 29th until May 26th, you could either get a Zoobles toy or more toys that would tie in with the Batman the Brave and the Bold cartoon, with each Happy Meal including 3 individual figurines. From May 27th until June 16th, the release of Kung Fu Panda 2 in theaters would have it be the feature toy in the Happy Meals. And next from June 17th until July 7th, you could either get a Live doll toy or a Pokemon figure that would come with a card. From July 8th until the 28th, Star Wars and Strawberry Shortcake would be in the Happy Meals together again. And they would be followed by the Smurfs, which would be the Happy Meal toys running from July 29th until August 25th. From August 26th until September 15th, you'd be able to choose between a Happy Meal that would feature a Twinkle Toes by Sketcher or a Ben 10 Ultimate Alien toy. September 16th until October 13th, iCarly would be back in the Happy Meals. This time, though, she would be teaming up with the Power Rangers with Power Rangers Samurai. October 14th through the 27th, we're getting Halloween buckets again. This time they aren't tying into any particular property, though they would still have stickers like the year before, which would allow you to customize the design of your bucket. The release of DreamWorks Puss in Boots would have Happy Meals featuring toys from that movie in it, running from October 28th until November 17th, and that would be followed from November 18th until December 15th by a Bakugan Hello Kitty team-up. From December 16th, 2011 until January 12th, 2012, you could get Happy Meal toys that tied in with the release of Alvin and the Chipmunks 3, Chipwrecked. And then from January 13th until February 8th, Barbies and Hot Wheels are back again with Barbie I Can Be, which featured dolls in a number of different professions, and Team Hot Wheels. February 9th through March 8th, you could either get a Build-A-Bear Workshop stuffed animal or a Happy Meal spinner toy that would celebrate the release of Star Wars Episode 1, returning to theaters, this time in 3D. March 9th through the 29th, My Little Pony and Transformers Prime would give you a few options at Happy Meal toys. And then March 30th through April 26th, you could choose between either Green Lantern the Animated Series or Squinky's Surprise Inside. April 27th until May 24th, you could choose between either Nickelodeon's Victorious or another set of Spy Gear toys. And then Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted would take over Happy Meals from May 25th until June 14th. Then from June 15th until July 5th, you could get either a Pokemon Black and White figure or another Zooble, which was returning from last year. And then next up from July 6th until the 26th, the Happy Meals would feature toys that would go along with the release of Ice Age Continental Drift. July 27th until August 23rd, you could get a figurine that would combine both SpongeBob and an Olympic sport. And then from August 24th until September 20th, you could get a Power Rangers Super Samurai toy or a Happy Meal that ties in with the Paul Frank monkey. September 21st until October 18th, the Happy Meals at McDonald's would be taken over by Hotel Transylvania. And then from Halloween that year, from October 19th until November 1st, you could get a bucket, this time featuring characters from Scooby-Doo. Tech Deck skateboards featuring characters would be back again, this time with characters from the cartoon Young Justice. But if you didn't want to get one of those, you could also get a Littlest Pet Shop. This Happy Meal set would run from November 2nd until the 22nd. November 23rd until December 20th, the movie Rise of the Guardians would have toys featured in the Happy Meals. And then going from December 21st, 2012 until January 24th, 2013, you could either get a Mushi Monsters toy or a toy from Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. January 25th, 2013 until February 21st, you could get either a Transformer Prime figure or another Hello Kitty toy. Next up, from February 22nd until March 21st, Barbie would be back, this time tied in with the movie The Pink Shoes, but she would no longer be teaming up with Hot Wheels. This time you could choose between Barbie or Hexbug. DreamWorks The Croods would have Topple Tower toys, which allow you to build up little structures and then knock them over with catapults. These Happy Meals would run from March 22nd until April 11th. From April 12th until May 2nd, you could get either a Fidget Friends Shimmies toy or a toy that would tie into the video game Skylanders Giants. From May 3rd until the 23rd, Spy Gear would return, but this time teaming up with Nickelodeon's Winx Club. They would be followed up May 24th until June 13th by toys connected to the animated movie Epic. June 14th until July 4th, you could either get a Hot Wheels Go For It car or a Twinkle Toes backpack clip. July 5th until August 1st, Despicable Me 2 would be coming to theaters, and so they would be taking over the Happy Meals, which would allow you to collect a number of different minions. This is another one of those sets that, depending on what country you're living in, you're getting just kind of a random selection as to which minions will be available. Moving on from there, from August 2nd until the 29th, Smurfs 2 would come out, and so the Happy Meals would feature 16 different little figures that would tie in with that movie. August 30th until September 19th, Power Rangers Megaforce would allow you to collect a number of different Zords that you could connect together to create a Megazord, or if you wanted something different, you could get a toy tied in with the Justice brand. September 20th until October 17th, toys tied in with The Wizard of Oz were available, as well as toys that would tie in with the newest animated version of Batman, Beware the Batman. For trick-or-treating this year, from October 18th until the 31st, you could get pails that would tie in with either Monster High or Star Wars Angry Birds. Running from November 1st until the 14th, Happy Meals would have one of 4 different books available. You could get either The Goat Who Ate Everything, Ant Can't, Dodie the Dodo Goes to Orlando, or Dina's Big Dreams. November 15th until December 12th, you could have your choice between either a Build-A-Bear stuffed animal or an NFL Rush Zone toy, which did have a toy available for each team in the league. And then running from December 13th, 2013 until January 16th, 2014, you could get another finger skateboard, this time though themed off of Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. With these ones though, you would also get a Ninja Turtles figure, or if you wanted something completely different, Furbies were back with Furby Boom. January 17th until February 6th, Paul Frank is back in the Happy Meals, this time though teaming up with Adventure Time from Cartoon Network. February 7th until March 6th, to celebrate the release of the Lego Movie, you would be able to collect one of 8 collectible holographic cups featuring different characters from the movie. With the release of DreamWorks' Mr. Peabody and Sherman, these classic characters would be able to make their way into Happy Meals from March 7th until the 27th, and they'd be followed March 28th until April 24th by My Little Pony's Rainbow Power and Skylanders Swap Force. April 25th until May 22nd, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 would be in Happy Meals with toys that McDonald's would be aiming to advertise to both boys and girls. May 23rd until June 12th, Pokemon would be back in Happy Meals, this time with the release of Pokemon X and Y. But if you weren't interested in those, you could also get an American Girl doll toy, this time though focused exclusively on the character Isabelle. How to Train Your Dragon 2 would release this summer, so from June 13th until July 3rd, you could get toys featuring that movie in your Happy Meal. In the US, we would get these little throwing discs, though in other parts of the world, they would actually get figures that would tie in with the movie. July 4th until the 31st, we'd have some returning characters, this time with Ty's Beanie Boos and Nintendo's Mario Kart. August 1st until the 28th, Barbie's Life in the Dream House had toys available, and this time again she would be teaming up with Hot Wheels, these ones specifically having little pumps that you could push that would launch the cars. August 29th until September 18th, little figures to tie into the release of EA Sports Madden 15 would be available in the Happy Meals, as would be another set of toys featuring The Littlest Pet Shop. September 19th until October 16th, Hexbugs would be back with another set of toys, and they'd be joined by a set of accessories that would tie into the Monster High series. October 17th until the 30th, this year the Halloween buckets would feature designs based off of the movie The Book of Life. And then from October 31st until November 25th, you could celebrate Hello Kitty's 40th anniversary or get a toy tied in with the show Max Steel. Penguins of Madagascar would be back in Happy Meals, this time advertising the release of their movie. Their Happy Meal would run from November 26th until December 18th. And then from December 19th, 2014 until January 8th, 2015, you could get either a Flutterby toy or a toy from the new Spy Gear series. From January 9th until the 22nd of 2015, your Happy Meal would include another one of 4 books, with the options being Pete the Cat and his magic sunglasses, Big Nate in a class by himself, Flat Stanley Goes Camping, and If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. From January 23rd until February 12th, you could get another toy based off of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or a Sweethearts plush. The SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water would take over Happy Meals from February 13th until March 5th, with toys that would make noise when you put your straw through them and then drank a drink. March 6th until the 26th, Barbie, Life in the Dream House, and Team Hot Wheels would be back together again. From March 27th until April 16th, toys tied in with DreamWorks' new movie Home would be available in the Happy Meals. And then from April 17th until March 14th, you could get toys that were either My Little Pony and My Little Pony Equestria Girls or Transformers Robots in Disguise. Skylanders would be back again with Skylanders Trap Team from May 15th until June 11th, and they would be teaming up with Littlest Pet Shop. June 12th until July 2nd, Nerf and Nerf Rebel would both be featured as the Happy Meal toys. And then the Minions would be back in Happy Meals again, this time for their own movie, running from July 3rd until the 30th. July 31st until August 27th, Monster High would be teamed up with the newest Batman show, this time Batman Unlimited. Then Monster Jam and Hello Kitty would be available in Happy Meals running from August 28th until September 24th. Hotel Transylvania 2 would be the theme for Happy Meal toys that would be available from September 25th until October 15th. And then to celebrate the home release of Minions on both digital and Blu-ray, you could get Happy Meal buckets featuring the Minions. October 30th until November 23rd, the Peanuts movie would be featured in Happy Meals to coincide with the release of their first theatrical released movie. And then Pokemon would be back with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire with toys and cards to collect, alongside another set of Build-A-Bear Workshop toys. These ones would run from November 24th until December 21st. From December 22nd, 2015 until February 1st, 2016, you would have a choice between either Shopkins or Rabbids. Books would be back in Happy Meals from February 2nd until the 15th, this time with the 4 books being Paddington, Pete the Cat, Valentine's Day is Cool, Clark the Shark Takes Heart, and Happy Valentine's Day Mouse. February 16th until March 14th, you could get either a My Little Pony toy or a Transformers Robot in Disguise toy. And those would be followed March 15th until April 11th with Hot Wheels cars that would be tied into DC characters or Barbie Spy Squad toys. From April 12th until May 9th, you could get an emoji plush. Just to be clear, these are not tied in with the Emoji Movie. That will come out a little bit later on. May 10th until June 13th, very similar to the toys that would be featured alongside the Croods, the Angry Birds movie would feature toys where you could build towers and knock them over. June 14th until July 5th, Skylanders would be back once again, this time with Skylanders Superchargers, and they would be joined by the reboot of the Powerpuff Girls. The Secret Life of Pets would be the Happy Meal toys running from July 6th until August 8th. From August 9th until the 29th, we were supposed to be having the Step It activity bands be featured in the Happy Meals, though they were quickly recalled because they were irritating kids' wrists and even causing burns. August 30th until September 19th, Talking Tom, which had originally become popular based off of an iPad app, would be featured in the Happy Meals. And he'd be followed September 20th through October 17th by Justice League Action and DC Superhero Girls. It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown would be the theme for the Halloween pails this year, and they would be available from October 18th until the 31st. You could get a little notebook with a pencil that could be topped with a troll's head to go along with the release of Trolls in theaters from November 1st until the 28th, and then November 29th until December 19th, Hello Sanrio, the Hello Kitty brand, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would both be featured in the Happy Meals. The movie Sing, put out by Illumination, would be in theaters, and so it would be featured in Happy Meals from December 20th, 2016 until January 9th, 2017. Then January 17th until February 6th, you could get either Sweetheart's lip gloss or a toy that went along with Cartoon Network's Teen Titans Go. The release of the Batman Lego Movie would have new collectible cups, but this time also a few toys coming to the Happy Meals. from February 7th until March 6th. Then Barbie and Hot Wheels would return to Happy Meals from March 7th until April 3rd. The Smurfs are back again, this time promoting Smurfs The Lost Village. These Happy Meals would run from April 4th until the 25th. These ones would come with little houses and even smaller figurines than usual. Super Mario is going to be the theme of the Happy Meal, running from April 26th until May 22nd. This is another one where, depending on where you live, there are some extra ones available in different countries. Ty Beanie Baby Boo's would have a new series available in Happy Meals running from March 23rd until June 26th. And then the Minions would be back in Happy Meals, this time with a few other characters from the Despicable Me franchise to celebrate the release of Despicable Me 3. This Happy Meal set would run from June 27th until August 7th. From August 8th until September 4th, just like I told you, it would show up. The Emoji Movie is here, this time with the plush emojis being directly tied to that movie. And then to tie in with the start of a new school year from September 5th until the 18th, another set of books would be available in Happy Meals. This time those books would be Pete the Cat's Got Class, If You Take a Mouse to School, Just a School Project, and Amelia Bedelia First Day of School. Another Lego movie would get released this year, which means another Happy Meal set, this time for the Lego Ninjago movie. This Happy Meal set would run from September 19th until October 8th. The My Little Pony movie would team up with Transformers Robots in Disguise to be in Happy Meals from October 9th until November 7th, and those would be followed by Pokemon Sun and Moon, as well as another set of Hello Sanrio, this time being themed for a tea party. As a cool little throwback, McDonald's did the Holiday Express, and it would run from December 5th, 2017 until January 1st, 2018. This would feature a number of different train cars that would tie into different properties. Next up, running from January 2nd, 2018 until the 29th, there were toys that tied in with the animated series Yokai Watch or Shopkins Happy Places. January 30th until February 12th, American Greetings is the theme for the Happy Meal, which means you're just kind of getting a few different paper crafts. February 13th until March 5th, toys tied in with the release of the new Peter Rabbit movie would be available. And then March 6th until April 9th, Snoopy would have his own line of Happy Meal toys. Running from April 10th until May 14th, National Geographic Kids Weird But True would put out a series of different plush toys you could collect, with each one of those toys coming with a fun fact card as well. Hasbro Games would be the theme for Happy Meals, running from May 15th until June 11th. Now, being a parent at this point, I have to say these ones are just actually pretty lame because it's pretty easy to lose the little paper pieces to this, making the toys completely useless and just trash. Though we do still have the Bop It one. And then from June 12th until July 23rd, we would see the return of Disney and Pixar for the first time this decade to Happy Meals with toys based off of Incredibles 2. Super Mario would be back with another set of toys from July 24th until August 20th. And then Justice League Action would return again from August 21st until September 17th. September 18th until October 26th, you could get a toy that tied in with the release of the new movie Bumblebee or My Little Pony Cutie Mark Crew toy. October 27th until November 12th, Hello Kitty and Pokemon would team up again. And then from November 13th until December 10th, we would see a real throwback to Happy Meals of the past with Disney characters in cars. These ones specifically being tied in to Ralph Breaks the Internet. Finishing out 2018 from December 11th until the 31st, you could get a toy based off of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where each one of the figures would be blank and come with different sticker sheets that would allow you to customize them based off of different characters in the movie. From January 1st, 2019 until the 21st, you could either get a Monster Jam truck or a Shopkins Cutie car in your Happy Meal. From January 29th until February 25th, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, had Happy Meal toys featuring its different characters. Then from February 26th until March 25th, Teen Titans Go would again be featured in the Happy Meals. And then to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Happy Meals coming out, from March 26th until April 22nd, Ty Beanie Boo's would be back in Happy Meals again. April 23rd until May 20th, 24 different Happy Meal toys tying into Avengers Endgame would be yours to collect. And then from May 20th until June 10th, The Secret Life of Pets 2 would be the Happy Meal toys. As you can see, when Disney returned to Happy Meals, they're returning in force because from June 11th until July 15th, Toy Story 4 would be your featured toys, and they would be followed from July 16th until August 19th by toys tying into the remake of The Lion King. August 20th until September 16th, Snoopy is back, this time with toys and books that were all about NASA and space exploration. September 17th until October 14th, Hot Wheels and Barbies are back at it, this time with just classic normal Barbie and Hot Wheel theming. And then from October 15th until November 6th, Pokemon would be in Happy Meals again with both little disc shooters and cards. But if you wanted to be seasonal and actually celebrate Halloween, you could get a Hello Kitty doll that was also celebrating the character's 45th anniversary. From November 7th until the 11th, we would get a full-blown celebration of Happy Meal's 40th anniversary that represented toys from the past 4 decades. Those toys being the Hamburger Changeable, the Cowboy McNugget Buddy, the Mail Carrier McNugget Buddy, the Firefighter McNugget Buddy, the McDino Happy Meal Changeable, McDonald Land Grimace figure, the McDonald Land Hamburglar figure, McDonald's Hot Wheels Thunderbird, Space Jam Bugs Bunny, Teeny Beanie's Patty the Platypus, My Little Pony, Furby, the Red Power Ranger, Hello Kitty, Tamagotchi, Walt Disney World 100 Years of Magic, Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey Mouse, and one of the 101 Dalmatians. You'll notice that there's no number 9 here, and all of the advertising for it, this is how things were numbered. Originally, there were 18 toys planned, but there actually were only 17 released. Frozen 2 would follow that up from November 12th until December 9th. And then our final Happy Meal for the decade would run from December 10th, 2019 until January 6th, 2020, coinciding with the release of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And that's going to finish up this look at the first 40 years of Happy Meals over at McDonald's. Make sure, again, let me know what you think about Happy Meals, about the video, down in the comments below. I love hearing everybody's stories about how they got to spend time with their grandparents, or like how this reminds them of a certain time of their life. It's been actually a ton of fun for me to be able to read all those comments down in the other videos. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you want notifications on when the Burger King videos are going to be coming out. Should just be next week that we'll get started with that. But if you want to check out some videos right now, head on over to my channel and look at the pop culture history playlist. There's videos talking about Thanksgiving Day parades, talking about different Christmas toys that have been popular over the years. So a lot of stuff over there, plus a ton of different rankings and everything that tie to pop culture as well. Thank you so much for being here on this video. I really appreciate you sticking around. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, though, you take care, and I'll see you then.